Fireweed Zinc is proving that it has upside potential, so much so that base metal mining giant Teck is an investor. Fireweed is ticker FWZ on the Venture Exchange and FWEDF on the OTCQB, and director and CEO is Brandon Macdonald. Brandon, welcome back to Kitco.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
Thumbnail Fireweed Zinc first, Brandon.
Yeah, a big zinc-lead-silver project in Yukon Territory, Canada. Obviously attracted some big name investors. But what really got people attention is not just do we publish some pretty incredible numbers a few years ago, it's that we've made some big game-changing discoveries since then. And this is entering a new tier of project.
Brandon, I want to get into that upside you mentioned in a minute. But first, what do investors need to know about zinc? What's the supply picture years out, Brandon?
The supply picture is pretty dire. So like all base metals, really, a 10-year bear market means underinvestment in exploration. It means underinvestment in permitting and development, and therefore a shortage of new, supply coming on stream. So as you get the normal increase in demand, that alone creates a crisis. But where you kind of get the perfect storm in zinc is that you've also got this sudden uptick in infrastructure investment, precipitated in part by the stimulus coming out of the COVID era, right? So, infrastructure means steel means galvanization. So whether it's wind turbines or whether it's bridges, you've now got an extra large growth in zinc demand. So coupled with real supply constraints, the picture is one of extended high zinc prices.
As a comparison, tell us about Arizona mining. Base metal miners can really move.
Yeah, Arizona mining is the picture of what these big zinc projects can go for. That was a project that, had attracted the attention of South 32 and then ended up transacting at a value over 2 billion Canadian in 2018. And at the time, that was a project bigger than we were then, but that's a gap that we've closed substantially. So we recognize that some investors may view zinc as a bit, boring, yet the $2 billion exit is in no way, shape, or form boring.
Talk about the management team at Fireweed Zinc. They've done this before, Brandon.
Yeah, I think it starts with our chairman, John Robbins, who has been involved in companies like Kaminak, Great Bear, been involved in multiple, billion plus transactions, and that expertise and that savvy in the markets and on the exit is critical. And then you've got on the ground, you've got a bunch of people from explorationists to, development people who really understand Yukon and who have, been part of the teams that permitted mines in Yukon, who have been in the part of the teams that have explored and found mines in the Yukon. So we really feel like we're as well equipped as a team could possibly be to make this, story a real success.
You announced a PA in 2018. What's been the game plan since?
Yeah, the plan from 2018 really might have been to, proceed from PEA to PFS and early stage permitting. We had a bit of a Hollywood problem, so to speak, which we made another significant discovery at the boundary zone. And this zone has demonstrated that we haven't nearly tapped the mineral endowment at our Macmillan Pass project. So we kind of took a step back and went back to exploration and are now going to publish a new resource and PEA next year, which is going to be a completely different category of project than the previous one.
You had a road announcement in 2020. Those road announcements, they really changed the economics of a project.
Yeah, it's critical that we already had a road to the project. I think, as you see with other projects, building new infrastructure into pristine wilderness can be tricky. So that we already had the road access was critical, but we took the conservative view in 2018 that we would put the burden of the improvement of the road on our own cost book. But in 2020, as you mentioned, the Yukon government, in combination with the federal government through the Resource Gateway project, committed $71 million to our access roads. So that's a massive lift off the capital expenditures required to build this project.
Tell us about community relations.
Look, it's critical. The closest small town is a place called Ross River. This is a community that's near and dear to my heart. It's where I originally lived as a child. We recognize that it's not enough just to talk the talk, or we have to walk the walk. And, since starting our first work program in 2017, we've had nearly half our exploration expenditures gone through Indigenous owned or partnered businesses. This last year we had 25% of our on-site workforce was Indigenous. This is critical to us that we, not just build this positive relationship, but show a path forward that it's not just it's not just something that talks about benefits, but actually provides benefits and can provide a real meaningful partnership.
Tell us about your capital structure. You have skin in the game.
Yeah, management has put quite a bit of money into this company. Our chairman a couple of years ago wrote a $500,000 check on one of the financings. This is important to us. Management does own over 10%. We have significant, incentive to make this work. And we've always viewed that that's critical to aligning ourselves with shareholders, understanding that, when we dilute because we think it adds value, not because we want to get ourselves, our paychecks. We feel the dilution just like all other shareholders.
What are some catalysts over the next 12 months?
Well, look, it's going to be quite a bit of drilling this summer. But I think the big catalyst, maybe just outside of 12 months, are going to be the resource update in PEA. And like I said, this is a radically different project than was before. And as we saw in 2018 when we released the old resource update in PEA, those are catalysts that the build up to them and then the release of them cause significant changes in our share price. So we think this is going to be one of the most best years, I guess, to own Fireweed. Like it's going to be one that really delivers excellent shareholder returns.
Brandon, thanks for speaking with Kitco.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
He's Director and CEO of Fireweed Zinc, Brandon Macdonald. My name is Michael McRae. You're watching Kitco Mining. Now, let's learn a little bit more about Fireweed Zinc.
Welcome to the Invest Yukon virtual tour. I'm Brandon Macdonald, CEO of Fireweed Zinc, and we're here at our Macmillan Pass Project located in eastern Yukon Territory. Comprising 940 square kilometers of claims, our project's located within the traditional territory of the Ross River Dene Council, the Natchez Dun, and Liard First Nation. Macmillan Pass Project is a zinc-lead-silver project. It consists of 4 known deposits, the Tom, Jason, End Zone, and Boundary Zone. This year we're really looking to follow up on the exploration we did last year, which resulted in the discovery of the Boundary West Zone. This year we'll be hopefully delineating more of that zone, as well as drilling at the Boundary Zone. We've also done extensive geophysical and geochemical work, which has identified new anomalies, including the Kobuk anomaly, just in the valley to my right here, and the 11 anomaly just down the valley from me here. 2021 is going to be about a $5 million program for Fireweed. Most of that goes to diamond drilling, but quite a bit does go to geophysics, geochemistry, and mapping. The next big catalyst for Fireweed is probably going to be the updated resource statement. That's going to integrate both improvements in the Tom and Jason deposits, and also, and most importantly, the inclusion of Boundary and Boundary West, which have never had a resource on them. We're lucky that we have a road that runs straight to the project. The road was built during the Second World War by the US Army, but has been used since and is maintained by the government. This helps not just keep our exploration costs down, but provides a starting point for infrastructure when we look to build the project and enter production. One of the important things to Fireweed is to be a good corporate citizen. I was born here. All of our employees have extensive experience in Yukon. We're privileged to be partnered with companies that are wholly owned by Indigenous groups or in partnership with Indigenous groups, and this is incredibly important to us. Fireweed's lucky that we have several significant shareholders, including both Teck and Hud Bay. Although they were both vendors of part of the project, Teck then followed that on with a cash investment in 2019. Probably what excites me most about the Macmillan Pass project is the existing resource in Tom and Jason alone already rank this as one of the largest undeveloped projects in the world. But then you take that and you add in the potential at Boundary Zone, the potential in the other zones along this fertile corridor that we've identified, and you're looking at a project that has really nearly unmatched global resource potential.